Welcome back. Today we explore some of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. Today we're diving into the world of Canada 1-cent coins that could potentially make you a millionaire. First up, the Canada 1-cent 1943 large date coin is a fascinating piece of Canadian numismatic history, notable for both its distinct design and the market value it commands today. This particular coin, struck during World War II, stands as a testament to the era's economic challenges and the country's efforts to maintain its currency system despite global turmoil. The 1943 1-cent coin was struck during a period of great uncertainty. World War II had gripped the world, and Canada, a member of the Allied forces, was feeling the economic strain. The minting of this coin was essential for maintaining the country's currency circulation, especially as wartime spending and inflation soared. The 1943 penny is part of a series of coins that Canada minted during the early 1940s, and while the design of the penny had been relatively stable for years, the wartime pressures meant that every aspect of coin production was scrutinized for cost efficiency. As a result, the composition of the 1943 penny was unchanged from the previous year, but certain factors, like minting errors or particular characteristics, made this coin stand out. In terms of mintage, the 1943 1-cent coin had a relatively standard production rate for its time. It was struck in large numbers and widely circulated, making it a common find for collectors when they first begin their journey. However, as time went on, the coin became increasingly scarce in good condition due to its circulation. Many of these coins became worn, damaged, or lost, leaving behind only a few well-preserved specimens. This particular example, the 1943 large date variety, is notable because of the larger numbers used in the date. The large date was part of a subtle shift in the design of Canadian coins during the 1940s, and while it may seem like a small detail, it contributes to the coin's collector value. The obverse of the 1943 large date 1-cent coin features the portrait of King George VI, who reigned as King of the United Kingdom and Canada during the time. His likeness is surrounded by the inscription George E. Grexet and Imp, which translates to George VI, by the grace of God, King and Emperor of India. The reverse of the coin displays the iconic maple leaf design, symbolizing Canada's national pride. The reverse features a pair of stylized maple leaves with the denomination 1 cent positioned below them. The reverse also includes the inscription Canada, clearly marking the coin's national origin. In addition to the large date, the coin's composition played a role in its unique appearance. Made primarily of copper, the 1943 1-cent coins often exhibit a distinctive coppery hue that changes over time, leading to what collectors call a color change effect. The copper oxidizes and can shift to a darker, more reddish shade, which enhances its visual appeal and rarity, especially in circulated condition. Despite being produced in relatively high quantities, the 1943 1-cent coin in circulated condition still carries significant value in today's auction market. The presence of the large date, coupled with the coin's natural color change, makes it a highly attractive option for collectors. While these coins may not fetch astronomical sums, well-preserved specimens in circulated condition can still command prices ranging from $92,000, depending on the level of wear and the degree of color change the coin has undergone. The auction market for Canadian pennies has seen a surge in interest over the past decade as collectors begin to recognize the long-term value of these coins. The 1943 large date coin, with its distinctive features and wartime history, continues to be a favorite among collectors who appreciate the historical context as much as the rarity. One factor that boosts the value of certain coins, including the 1943 large date penny, is the possibility of errors. Although not widely recognized as an error coin, there are instances where slight variations in the minting process, such as doubling in the date or a misalignment of the dies, can increase a coin's market appeal. Collectors who specialize in error coins often seek out these variants, and when an error is discovered, it can lead to a dramatic increase in a coin's auction value. For example, a doubled die error on the 1943 penny could result in a significantly higher price, especially if the error is evident and well documented. Collectors of Canadian currency, especially those with a focus on the 1 cent series, are particularly keen on coins like the 1943 large date due to its historical significance, its association with wartime Canada, and its overall rarity in well-maintained condition. Next up, the 19461 cent coin, with its large date, is another fascinating entry into the world of Canadian numismatics. Released in the aftermath of World War II, this coin represents a transition period in Canadian coinage, where the country began recovering from the war and restoring stability to its economy. This specific coin in fine condition is an example of how even post-war minting can hold immense value in the modern collector's market. Following the end of World War II, Canada, like many countries, faced a need to replenish its currency supply. The war had caused a reduction in the minting of coins, and post-war recovery meant that the Canadian government needed to catch up on its coin production to meet the needs of a growing economy. The 1946 penny is part of a series that marked the beginning of Canada's economic rebound after the war. At this time, there were still lingering effects of the wartime economy, and much of the country was involved in the transition from a wartime footing to a peacetime economy. This included efforts to stabilize currency and restore the value of Canadian money. The 19461 cent coin was struck in large numbers to help facilitate this process. The mintage of the 19461 cent coin was quite high, making it relatively common in circulation. However, the number of coins that have survived in fine condition, particularly those with the large date variety, is much smaller. Over the decades, many of these coins have been worn down by circulation, making those in fine condition even more valuable today. The fine condition of a coin generally means that it shows moderate signs of wear but retains most of the design details, including the crispness of the lettering and the profile of the monarch on the obverse. Coins in fine condition are more sought after by collectors than those in lower grades, as they offer a clearer view of the design and are often seen as more aesthetically pleasing. Similar to the 1943 penny, the 1946 large date coin features the portrait of King George VI on the obverse. This portrait was designed by Canadian artist T.H. Paget, and it became iconic during the reign of King George VI. The reverse of the coin features the maple leaf design, with the number 1 prominently displayed below the pair of leaves. The inscription Canada is found at the top, reinforcing the country of origin. The large date is the key feature of this coin, and while it may appear subtle, it is an important detail for collectors as it distinguishes this version of the coin from others that were minted in different years. In fine condition, the 19461 cent coin can command a respectable price at auction. Depending on the specific quality of the coin, the value can range from $65,000. Factors such as the degree of wear, the sharpness of the design, and the overall visual appeal of the coin will play a significant role in determining its market value. As Canadian pennies, especially those from the mid-20th century, continue to gain recognition in the numismatic community, the demand for high-quality examples of coins, like the 1946 penny, is on the rise. The coin's market value has been steadily increasing, and collectors continue to show a strong interest in acquiring well-preserved specimens. Just as with the 1943 penny, there are certain varieties and potential errors that collectors look for when purchasing the 19461 cent coin. These include misaligned dies, doubled die errors, and other small anomalies that can make a coin more valuable. While the 1946 penny is not as widely known for its errors as other Canadian coins, collectors still keep an eye out for any unusual variants that might emerge. As Key Pend discusses in his book, there are 2 variants that might emerge, and collectors interested in the 1946 penny are typically drawn to the large date variety, as this design feature provides a unique historical marker for the time. The interest in the 1946 penny continues to grow, and as more collectors turn to this coin for their collections, the market value is likely to see further increases. And there you have it, two extremely valuable Canadian 1-cent coins that showcase both historical significance and the growing interest of collectors and investors. Whether it's the wartime era of the 1943 large-date penny or the post-war transition symbolized by the 1946 large-date penny, both coins continue to hold immense value in the auction market today. Next up, the 1974 Canada 1-cent coin holds a significant place in Canadian numismatics. Introduced during an era of evolving coin designs, this penny was minted as part of Canada's ongoing cent production that began in 1858. The coin represents the culmination of over a century of 1-cent coinage tradition, with changes to its design, composition, and production techniques reflecting Canada's socio-economic landscape. In 1974, Canada was in the midst of economic adjustments influenced by rising inflation and shifting global markets. Despite this, the 1-cent coin remained a staple of daily transactions, representing the smallest denomination in circulation. This coin is part of the second generation of pennies, designed after Queen Elizabeth II ascended to the throne in 1952. This particular coin's value in today's market is enhanced by its unique features and historical background. Its large date variant and the black color change make it an anomaly and a treasure for collectors who value rarity and imperfections. The Royal Canadian Mint produced a significant number of 1-cent coins in 1974, with mintage figures estimated at over 684 million. While this might seem like a large number, the survival rate of pristine or unusual examples like the blackened, dirty condition variant is exceptionally low. Coins that have undergone environmental changes, such as discoloration, develop unique aesthetics, often making them more desirable among collectors. The 1974 Canada 1-cent features a design that is both timeless and iconic. On the obverse, we have the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Macon. This version of the Queen's portrait was first introduced in 1965 and remained a staple on Canadian coins until the late 1980s. On the reverse, we see the traditional maple leaf twig, a symbol of Canadian identity designed by G. Kruger Gray. The large date on this coin distinguishes it from other variants, offering clear visibility and appeal. The coin's blackened appearance, resulting from environmental exposure or improper storage, adds a unique character that cannot be replicated. This discoloration turns an otherwise common coin into a conversation piece. Error coins from 1974 are a hot topic among numismatists. While this coin does not have a documented minting error, its unique coloration can be viewed as an unofficial error caused by external factors. Collector interest in error coins stems from their rarity and the story they tell about minting processes. Coins with blackened surfaces are often seen as either damaged or visually intriguing, depending on the collector. The dirty condition adds a layer of authenticity to the coin's journey through time, and for some collectors, it's these imperfections that make a coin truly priceless. In today's auction market, the value of a 1974 Canada 1-cent coin with a large date and blackened discoloration can vary greatly depending on its appeal and demand. While a standard 1974 penny might fetch just a few cents, unique specimens with notable changes like black coloration can sell for $82,000 depending on the bidding environment. Condition, provenance, and collector interest heavily influence the final price. Next up, the 1968 Canada 1-cent coin is another intriguing piece of Canadian history. This coin was minted during a pivotal year in Canadian coinage history. In 1968, the Royal Canadian Mint transitioned from silver to nickel for higher denomination coins, reflecting economic changes and the rising cost of precious metals. The humble 1-cent coin, however, remained copper, continuing a tradition that began with its introduction. These coins were an essential part of daily commerce, often overlooked for their value but indispensable nonetheless. The 1968 penny saw a mintage of approximately 345 million, a significant number by any standard. However, finding well-preserved coins in fine or higher condition has become increasingly rare, as these pennies were heavily circulated. The obverse of the 1,968 1-cent coin features the same Arnold Machin portrait of Queen Elizabeth II as seen on the 1974 coin. The reverse design by Kruger Gray showcases the iconic maple leaf twig, a nod to Canada's national identity. The large date variation ensures clear readability, making it a favorite among collectors who appreciate design subtleties. The overall aesthetic of this coin in fine condition demonstrates its resilience against wear, adding to its desirability. While the 1968 penny does not have any notable minting errors, its appeal lies in its design and the quality of its preservation. Coins in fine condition represent the upper echelon of surviving examples, as most pennies from this era show significant wear from circulation. Creolda prize coins like this for their historical value, and the fine condition ensures that every design detail remains visible, from the intricate veins of the maple leaves to the finely engraved features of Queen Elizabeth II. In today's auction market, a 1968 Canada 1-cent coin in fine condition can command prices ranging from $110,000 depending on the interest level of collectors and the competition in bidding. Its value is significantly higher than face value, demonstrating the growing interest in Canadian coins as collectible items. And there you have it, two incredible Canadian cents that are worth far more than their face value. The 1974 penny with its black color change and the 1968 penny in fine condition both tell unique stories of Canadian history, design, and numismatic interest. Next up, let's examine the Canada 1 cent 1975, large date in black collar with dirty condition. This specific coin has gained significant attention in the numismatic community, and for a very good reason. The 1975 large date 1 cent piece may seem like an ordinary coin to some, but when you dive deeper into its characteristics, its true value starts to shine. So, what makes this coin so special? To fully understand the value of this coin, we need to take a look at the historical context behind it. In 1975, the Royal Canadian Mint produced millions of 1-cent coins for circulation. These coins were a part of Canada's broader currency system, with their copper composition representing the traditional values of Canadian coinage at the time. However, what makes this particular issue rare is a small but noticeable design feature: the large date variation. At first glance, the differences between the regular and large date versions of the 1975 penny may seem subtle. The most noticeable feature, as the name suggests, is the size of the digits in the date. For the large date version, the numbers are spaced out more prominently, and the 5 is distinctly larger than the other versions. This variation led to a higher level of interest from collectors in later years. But beyond the date size, this coin has a few key design elements that collectors pay attention to. The obverse side of the 1975 1-cent coin features a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by renowned artist Arnold Machin. This design has been seen on Canadian coins from 1965 until the late 1980s and is widely regarded as one of the most iconic representations of Her Majesty. The reverse side of the coin displays the classic Canadian maple leaf motif, which is instantly recognizable to anyone familiar with Canadian currency. It's a simple yet elegant design with a strong national identity rooted in Canada's natural heritage. The detail in the leaves, the central numeral 1, and the word Canada all contribute to the coin's timeless aesthetic. As for the mintage, the 1975 1-cent coin was produced in large numbers, with approximately 538 million of these coins minted. Given this high mintage, it might seem like these coins would be relatively inexpensive. However, the value lies in their condition and the specific features of the coin, especially for the large date variation, which is relatively harder to find in the pristine state sought by collectors. Now, you may be wondering, how does a dirty condition coin like this hold value? Well, while it's true that collectors tend to avoid coins in poor condition, the 1975 large date penny has become somewhat of a cult favorite in the numismatic community, particularly for those who are focused on acquiring rare coins for their unique characteristics, rather than their perfect preservation. Coins with dirty conditions, those that have accumulated tarnish, dirt, or even corrosion over the years, are generally not ideal for investment purposes. However, for collectors of historical pieces, or those interested in acquiring coins that represent the full range of a coin's history, these dirty versions can still command a premium price, especially if they feature a rare variation like the large date. As of today, a 1975 Canada 1 cent large date in a dirty condition can fetch anywhere from $20,000 at auction, depending on factors like how well the coin is preserved and whether any unique characteristics like patina or discoloration make it stand out among other similar coins. Of course, coins that are in better condition, such as those rated in fine or very fine condition, can see auction prices soar significantly higher. But for this particular dirty coin, the interest in the variation, rather than the condition itself, is what really drives its market value. It's also worth noting that the 1975 1 cent coin is not typically associated with major mint errors. However, collectors have been known to pay extra for examples with unusual wear, off-center strikes, or other irregularities. This is particularly true for those who collect error coins, as a simple mistake at the mint can create a piece with a significant premium attached. What makes this coin particularly intriguing to collectors is the rarity of the large date variation and the increasing interest in coins that tell a story of their time in circulation. The 1975 Canada 1 cent coin represents a snapshot of an era, and as such, its collectors find a deep appreciation for coins that show signs of their journey through time, even if those signs come in the form of dirt or discoloration. Next up, the Canada 1 cent 1949 large date in extra fine condition. Unlike the 1975 penny, this one has an entirely different history, and its market value is far more significant, owing to both its rarity and the condition in which it has survived. The 1949 Canada 1 cent coin came at a significant time in Canadian history. In the post-World War II era, the country was recovering from the effects of the global conflict, and its economy was in a phase of expansion. As a result, the Royal Canadian Mint was producing coins in large quantities to meet the growing demands of a booming economy. 1949 was also an important year in Canadian coinage for another reason: the introduction of the large date variety. These coins were produced alongside the more common small date versions, which was a result of changes made in the minting process. While the small date variety dominated the mintage of that year, the large date coins are far rarer and have become highly sought after by collectors. The design of the 1949 1 cent coin remains fairly similar to previous Canadian pennies. On the obverse side, we see the now iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, still based on Arnold Machin's design, which had been first used on Canadian coinage in 1965. On the reverse side, we find the familiar maple leaf motif. However, what truly sets this coin apart is the large date on the reverse side, with the digits of 1949 spread further apart than on the small date coins. In 1949, the Royal Canadian Mint produced many millions of 1 cent coins, but the large date variety is a rare find among collectors. It's estimated that only around 4 to 5 million of the 1949 1 cent coins were struck with the large date, making them far less common than their small date counterparts. Now, when it comes to coins in extra fine condition, collectors place a premium on how well the coin has been preserved. An extra fine coin typically shows only minor signs of wear, and the intricate details of the design, such as the sharpness of the maple leaves, the depth of the date, and the clarity of Queen Elizabeth's effigy, are still clearly visible. Coins that have maintained this level of condition, especially from a year with a relatively low mintage like 1949, command much higher prices than those in lower grades. The large date version of the 1949 1 cent coin is one of the most coveted Canadian pennies, as it embodies both rarity and exceptional preservation. In today's auction market, a 1949 Canada 1 cent large date in extra fine condition can command anywhere from $62,000, with particularly well-preserved examples sometimes exceeding the higher end of this range. This price is driven by the coin's low mintage, its condition, and the increasing interest in Canadian numismatics as a whole. At auction, especially in rare coin markets or specialized dealers, you might even see higher bids depending on the demand from collectors looking to complete their sets or acquire key coins from Canadian history. Much like the 1975 penny, the 19491 coin is not widely associated with major minting errors. However, there are occasional examples of off-center strikes or misaligned dies that might make certain specimens even more valuable, especially for error coin collectors. Why is this coin so sought after? Well, collectors love it for several reasons. First, the large date variety is incredibly rare. Second, it's a representation of Canadian history from a significant time period following the end of World War II. Lastly, the preservation of the coin in extra fine condition only adds to its desirability. Collectors who are looking to acquire top-tier Canadian pennies will see the 1949 large date as a must-have, a true gem to add to their collections. And that wraps up our deep dive into these two remarkable Canadian 1-cent coins: the 1975 large date in black color dirty condition and the 1949 large date in extra fine condition. From their unique features and historical context to their exceptional market value today, these coins show just how fascinating and valuable the world of numismatics can be. Next up, the Canada 1 cent 1950 large date is a coin that has sparked considerable interest among collectors due to its rarity and intriguing historical background. In the post-war years, Canada was experiencing rapid growth and a shifting economy. The 1950s marked the dawn of the Cold War era, and the Canadian government was working to stabilize its currency and introduce new designs in response to both domestic and international economic pressures. The 1950 large date is often distinguished by its size, as the digits 1950 are noticeably larger than those found on other years. This subtle but important distinction makes the 1950 large date a standout in the world of coin collecting. At the time, many of these coins were circulated extensively, which led to a decrease in their overall availability in high-grade condition. The mintage figures for the 1950 large date 1-cent coin were relatively high compared to other years, but this did not prevent the coin from becoming rare, in excellent condition over time. In fact, coins that remain in good or uncirculated condition are now considered highly valuable, and demand continues to increase as collectors seek out these hidden gems. In today's auction market, the 1950 large date in good condition can fetch impressive prices, ranging from hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on factors such as the quality of the coin, its provenance, and the current market conditions. Coins that have been well preserved in good condition are highly prized due to the relative scarcity of coins that have withstood decades of circulation. A good condition coin will generally exhibit visible wear, but still maintain clear details, making it an excellent entry point for collectors looking to acquire a rare piece of Canadian history. The coin's value is also influenced by its historical significance. As one of the few surviving examples of early post-war Canadian coinage, collectors are drawn to it not only for its intrinsic beauty, but also for its place in Canada's numismatic heritage. The value in today's auction market can range from approximately $134,000 for higher-grade examples, with premium prices achieved by coins that have been well preserved or come with additional appeal, such as a unique patina or exceptional strike. The 1950 Canada 1-cent coin features a design that was first introduced in 1937, based on the work of Canadian artist G.H.V. Vines. The obverse of the coin bears a portrait of King George VI, who ruled Canada from 1936 to 1952. This particular coin was minted during the later years of King George VI's reign, and the effigy of the monarch is a defining characteristic of the series. On the reverse, the coin displays the famous maple leaf design, symbolizing Canada's rich natural resources and national identity. The large date variant of the 19501 cent coin is distinguished by the noticeably larger numerals, which were inadvertently produced during the minting process. This error led to the creation of a coin with a distinct and easily recognizable characteristic that stands out among other coins from that era. The size of the digits is not merely a cosmetic feature. It plays a significant role in the coin's value. Because of the limited number of 1950 large-date coins in good condition, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for the opportunity to own one of these distinctive examples. As mentioned, the large-date variant is considered an error, albeit one that was likely unintentional. Errors are highly valued in the world of coin collecting because they represent the nuances of minting that can add uniqueness and rarity to a coin. Although the error in this case is not a glaring misprint, its size and impact on the overall appearance of the coin make it stand out among other Canadian pennies from the same year. Collectors have become increasingly interested in error coins, especially when they feature such distinct characteristics as the 1950 large date. The rarity of these coins, combined with their historical and aesthetic significance, has made them a staple in the portfolios of serious numismatists and casual collectors alike. As the market for rare and valuable coins continues to grow, the demand for error coins like the 1950 large date will only continue to rise, further solidifying its place as one of the most valuable Canadian 1-cent coins in circulation today. Next up, the Canada 1 cent 1945 large date is another important piece in the series of Canadian pennies that has seen a surge in collector interest. By 1945, the world was emerging from the throes of World War II, and Canada was rebuilding both its economy and its currency. The minting of coins during this time reflects the challenges and triumphs of the era, and the 1945 penny stands as a testament to Canada's resilience and recovery. This coin was produced just before the end of the war, a period when the Canadian economy was shifting from wartime production to peacetime prosperity. The 1945 large-date penny features a distinct design, much like its 1950 counterpart, and was produced in large quantities, making it initially more accessible to the public. However, as time passed and these coins were circulated extensively, many were lost, damaged, or simply worn down through regular handling. As a result, well-preserved examples of the 1945 large-date penny are now considered rare, and those found in circulated fine condition have become highly sought after in the auction market. The 1945 Canada 1 cent coin also features the portrait of King George VI on the obverse, with the reverse showcasing the maple leaf design. The large numerals of the date, similar to the 1950 version, are a defining feature of the 1945 large date variant. The design was struck with a slightly larger date than usual, which is why collectors take note of this particular feature. In circulated fine condition, the 1945 large date coin is not as perfect as an uncirculated example, but it still retains enough detail for collectors to appreciate its historical significance and design. The fine condition designation means that the coin shows noticeable wear and has likely seen significant circulation, but its key features, such as the portrait of the king and the maple leaf, are still visible. In today's market, a 1945 large date in fine condition can command a value of anywhere between $750 to $2,500 depending on the exact state of preservation and the coin's appeal to collectors. Coins with particularly strong eye appeal, or those with interesting toning or patina, can achieve even higher prices at auction. The mintage of the 1945 Canada 1 cent coin was relatively high, but as time has passed, fewer examples have survived in good condition. This has led to a growing collector interest in the coin, especially in cases where the coin is preserved in fine or better condition. Coins from this era are highly valued because they represent the period of transition following World War II, and many collectors find them fascinating as symbols of Canada's post-war recovery. Collectors of Canadian coins, particularly those with a focus on King George VI issues, have shown a growing interest in the 1945 large date penny. These coins represent a unique time in Canadian history, and collectors seek them out for both their historical value and their place in the broader narrative of Canadian numismatics. Like the 1950 large date penny, the 1945 version's large date is a noticeable error that adds uniqueness and desirability to the coin. Although this error was not intentional, it plays a significant role in the coin's appeal. Many collectors are drawn to coins with unique features, and the large date error makes the 1945 penny stand out in the collection. The continued demand for Canadian coins from the King George VI era, especially those that exhibit errors or unusual features, ensures that the 1945 large date penny will remain a highly sought-after item on the auction circuit for years to come. There you have it, the Canada 1 cent 1945 large date coin. Excellent examples of Canadian coinage that hold immense value in today's market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your coin journey, these coins offer a fascinating glimpse into Canada's numismatic history. Next up, the Canada 1 cent coin of 1962, featuring a large date design, is part of the series issued by the Royal Canadian Mint. The 1960s was a crucial period in Canada's coinage history, marked by the shift toward a more modernized economy. Coins from this era are often associated with the final phase of the old imperial monetary system prior to the introduction of the new decimal currency in Canada. The 1962 coin specifically holds historical importance due to Canada's post-World War II economic boom, which was seen in the increasing demand for currency. The cent coins were designed for everyday use, but have since become valuable due to the evolving rarity of certain mintages and variants. The 1962 Canada 1 cent coin, in particular, stands out for its large date design, which refers to the size of the numbers used in the minting of the year. This variant is easily distinguishable from the smaller date version, and collectors are highly interested in this distinct difference. The coin features a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gillick on the obverse side. This iconic image of the Queen has been featured on Canadian coins since 1953, and in 1962 it was still part of the early phase of her reign. On the reverse side, the maple leaf design, which is synonymous with Canadian symbolism, is prominently displayed. The reverse design was crafted by George Kruger Gray and has remained a classic feature of Canadian cent coins, symbolizing the country's strong ties to its natural landscape and heritage. In 1962, the Royal Canadian Mint produced a total of approximately 282 million 1 cent coins, with a significant portion of these featuring the large date design. Although this mintage number may seem large at first glance, it's important to note that many of these coins have been worn down over the years due to circulation, and the coins in good condition are much rarer today. The large date variation, though not an error coin, is considered rarer than other versions because of the relatively few surviving examples in higher grades. As a result, collectors actively seek out these coins, driving up their market value. In today's auction market, the 1962 Canada 1 cent in good condition can be worth $39,200, depending on its overall appearance and the degree of wear and tear. However, coins in higher grades, such as very fine or extra fine, can fetch prices much higher, sometimes even reaching $47,000 or more at auction. The rarity of well-preserved coins and the demand from collectors contribute to the inflated market value of these cents. The price fluctuates depending on the specific details of the coin's condition, and some buyers are willing to pay a premium for pieces with distinctive features, or if they're part of a collection of similar coins. While the 1962 large date variant is not typically considered an error coin, it has become highly sought after by collectors due to its unique features and relative rarity. In addition to the large date variation, there are a number of other minor errors or variations found in different years, but the 1962 large date continues to capture the attention of numismatists. Coins with blemishes, mistakes in minting, or double strikes can sometimes result in even higher auction prices, depending on the severity of the error. Collectors of Canadian coins often look for variations from the standard designs, and the 1962 1 cent large date is often grouped with other notable cent coins in various collections. Its intrinsic value, combined with its place in Canadian history, makes it a key piece for coin enthusiasts and investors alike. Next up, The 1969 Canada 1-cent coin is an important part of the ongoing development of Canada's coinage system during the 1960s. This era saw continued modernization, and coin collectors began paying more attention to minute variations in coinage, including the size of the date on cent coins. The late 1960s also marked economic challenges, including inflation and changes in Canada's domestic policies. The country was grappling with a post-war economy that was transitioning into a more globalized market. It was during this time that Canadians were still very much reliant on small-denomination coins, like the 1-cent piece, for their everyday transactions. The 1969 coin remains an important collectible, mainly due to its large date variant. This was a year in which a number of minting errors and design features became significant in the eyes of collectors. The large date design from 1969, in particular, is often remembered for its striking visual differences when compared to the smaller date variants. Much like its 1962 counterpart, the 1969 Canada 1-cent coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. This image of the Queen is one of the most iconic in Canadian numismatics and is representative of the era, as it remained largely unchanged throughout the 1960s. On the reverse side, the maple leaf design is again visible, representing Canada's national identity. The reverse design remains beloved by Canadian coin collectors, as it brings an earthy and distinctive feel to the coin, showcasing the nation's connection with its natural beauty. The distinguishing feature of the 1969 large date is the size of the numerals used to represent the year, which were larger than those seen in other coins from the same period. The large date design is visually noticeable, and it has become a target for coin enthusiasts interested in rare variants. The collector's market finds these differences desirable, further enhancing their value. Approximately 302 million 1-cent coins were produced in 1969, with the large date variant being a significant portion of the total mintage. However, as with all coins, the bulk of these coins were circulated and worn down over the decades. Consequently, very few remain in circulated fine condition, which is why these coins are highly valued by numismatists and investors today. The number of well-preserved coins from this period remains relatively low, especially in fine condition, and this scarcity is a major contributing factor to the increased value of the 1969 large date coin. In the current market, the 1969 Canada 1-cent coin in circulated fine condition typically sells for $72,000, depending on the specific quality of the coin. While it is not as high in price as some of the rarer Canadian coins from earlier years, the 1969 large date variant is still a sought-after piece for many collectors. Coins in higher grades can command higher auction prices, especially if they feature rare attributes or are sold as part of a collection. The demand for well-preserved examples, combined with the rarity of the large date variant, means that collectors are often willing to pay above-average prices for this coin. As with the 1962 cent coin, the 1969 large date coin has a significant level of collector interest due to its design features. The large date variant is often compared to other years with smaller dates, and collectors of Canadian coins are always on the lookout for such specific variants. While errors like double strikes, off-center prints, and die cracks can occasionally increase a coin's value, the 1969 Canada 1-cent coin is already in high demand due to its large date feature. Coins that show signs of wear but still retain a clear and legible date often do well in auctions, especially when they are in fine or better condition. Both the 1962 large date Canada 1-cent coin in good condition and the 1969 large date Canada 1-cent coin in circulated fine condition are fantastic examples of how a simple coin can gain immense value over time. These coins, originally minted for everyday use, have become prized collectibles due to their unique design features, historical context, and the increasing rarity of well-preserved examples. As always, the key to valuable coin collecting lies in understanding the details that make each coin unique, and both of these Canada 1-cent pieces offer intriguing aspects that appeal to collectors and investors alike. Be sure to keep an eye out for these coins when you visit auctions or coin shops. They might just be the next treasure for your collection. Thanks for watching Valuable Coins, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more coin content. Until next time, happy collecting!